So you have been thinking of moving to Kitchener, Ontario, and you're trying to figure out how much it might actually cost you to live here in Kitchener. Well, stick around because that's what this video is about. I'm going to break it down for you, all the elements for a complete household budget. By the end of this video, you should be able to budget yourself for a complete cost of how much it will actually cost for you and your family to live right here in Kitchener. And we're going to get after it right now. Hello and welcome everybody. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, playing, sleeping, working in Kitchener, Cambridge and Waterloo, then subscribe below and tap on that bell for notification so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo and surrounding areas. My name is Dharmik Dixit. I'm a local real estate agent serving Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo and surrounding areas. I do get calls, texts, emails from people just like yourself who are looking for help in making their move to Cambridge, Kitchener and Waterloo, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or you can schedule a Zoom call. All the information right in the description below. I'll be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo and surrounding towns. Alright, so we are going to begin with one of the major expenses that make up part of any household budget, and that's going to be your housing and shelter. So we'll look at the rent first. According to a rent research website called Zumper.com, I've included the link below, so feel free to check it out. An average cost of a one-bedroom apartment here in Kitchener as of July 2023 was just over $1,850 per month, while an average cost of a two-bedroom apartment was well over $2,250 per month, with an average cost of a three-bedroom apartment was well over $2,750 per month. So rents are no longer as affordable as they used to be. But that's an average cost. For the sake of this calculation, feel free to check out the link as well if you want to get more granular and also want to take a look at what each of those price points can get you in terms of rentals here in Kitchener. Be sure to check out. Now, let's look at the cost of home ownership. Now, as we know, it gets a bit tricky depending on your purchase price, your down payment, your interest rate. All those things will play in to determine your actual mortgage payment. But for the sake of this calculation, we will take an average price point of $750,000 here in Kitchener as of July 2023. You could definitely aim for something like a freehold townhome in a decent enough neighborhood, 3-bedroom, 3-washroom here in Kitchener. I'll include a link below on one of the listings that recently sold here in Kitchener, so you get to take a look at what that can buy you. But for the sake of this calculation, if your purchase is $750,000 and if you are putting 20% down payment, your net mortgage is going to be $600,000. Assuming that an average rate of interest you're going to get in today's date is going to be somewhere around 6%. So with that being in mind, on an average mortgage payment per month will be $3,568 per month. Now, if you have a particular number in mind in terms of your pre-approval or budget that you're working with, and if you want to play around with the numbers, I've actually included the link to the Government of Canada mortgage calculator, where you can punch in your own numbers in terms of your purchase price, your down payment. If you have a particular interest rate that's discounted for you, feel free to punch in your numbers so you will know exactly how much your mortgage payment will be per month. That will help you get more granular and more streamlined with your budget. Now, if you do own a home here, you will have an added cost in terms of property tax that you will pay to the city here in Kitchener. Now, here the property tax is determined by the city's assessment value, not the actual market value of the home, which is a good thing for the homeowners. But also keep in mind, year over year, as the city assessment value goes up, your property taxes will tend to go up slightly every year. Now, if I were to take an average, because this is going to be a bit tricky, but if I were to take a look at majority of the townhomes under 1,500 square feet, you will be looking at somewhere around $250 to $300 per month on an average in terms of property taxes. If you look at like something with a bigger lot and build out, such as close to 2,000 square feet and under, you will be looking at somewhere between 350 into the 400, low 400. And of course, as a lot size and this living area gets bigger, such as a detached house, obviously your assessment value go up, same as your property taxes. So you could be looking at well into the high 400s, into the 500s. So the tip for you though, if you really want to nail it down for your budget when you have a particular property in mind, Property tax is a public information that is available on any listing that you look at. So let's say if you pull up realtor.ca today, and if you look at any particular property, if you go into the listing details, you will always find the exact property tax as of the current or the most recent year that the current owner is paying. So you can always factor that in to budget yourself accurately. Now let's look at the utilities cost if you were to own a home here in Kitchener. So it gets a bit tricky because factors such as age of the house, the square footage, number of people living in the household, all those things, and of course the energy efficiency of the home itself, all those factors will, vary the utility cost slight a bit. But for the sake of this example, I'll give you my own example. We are a family of four, household of four with 2 adults and 2 kids, and an average cost we pay for heat, water, and hydro is around $350 per month. Now keep in mind, during winter months, your furnace is going to be working harder to keep the house warm, so you're going to get a higher gas bill than the typical average. But in summer months, you have your air conditioning that's working harder to keep the place cool and comfortable, so you're going to pay higher hydro bill during the summer months. But if I were to take it, an average of the last 12 months, it's coming to an average of $350 per month for heat, water, and hydro. For water, again, the usage consumption pattern, all those things would vary slight a bit. But if I were to take a look at the water, they say average cost you can factor in for a water bill is $30 per person. So that's something to, bit of those small nuggets if you want to get really granular. On the top of those utilities, you're going to have, if you own a home, you're going to have a hot water tank and internet, of course. We live in this age where you would have it, I would assume at least. But an average cost of internet will be somewhere around $70 per month. It's not going to be different from other parts of, Ontario to here much. But hot water tank, you're looking at average $30 per month, somewhere between 30 and 40, depending on what kind of deal you got with the utilities company. But overall, heat, water, hydro, $350 per month. Internet and hot water tank, you could factor in additional $100. That combines all the utilities being $450 per month for an average household of 4 with 2 adults and 2 kids. So you will not go over, hopefully, unless your usage consumption is very rough. But for the most part, you should stay under it. A couple of quick things to add to those utility costs that we just talked about is if you're renting a place, do check to see what the place actually includes. So if you were to rent a condominium apartment, some of those condominiums have a monthly condo fee that is paid by the landlord, and that does sometimes include some of the utilities, the most common one being water. So it might be included. You might want to check it. And on the other hand, if you own a place and if you instead are looking at a condominium townhome, do make sure to factor in your monthly condo fee. That's going to add up to your monthly housing cost as well. So those are the couple quick things to note. Now let's look at the transportation costs. So talking about the public transit, we have Grand River Transit that actually connects you, a public transit network between the Tri-Cities, Kitchener, Cambridge, and Waterloo. Cost per fare is $3.75. They actually just increased it in July of this year by 25 cents. And if you were to look at a monthly pass, it's going to cost you $92 per month. They do have a single day pass as well. That's going to be $8.50 per day. That gives you unlimited rides throughout that day. Now, let's look at the vehicle. If you have your own vehicle and you're going to rely on that, as we know, Kitchener primarily is a vehicle-friendly town. It'll definitely make it a lot easier for you to get around if you have your own car or own vehicle to get around. So, but I have a good news for you. If you have your own vehicle, and if you're especially moving from one of the greater Toronto area suburbs, an average cost of insurance here in Kitchener is around $1,350 as per a website named InsureI, which is one of the insurance provider brokerages that provides insurance for cars. Now, if I were to compare that with some of the greater Toronto area suburbs, or even Toronto for that matter, some of those suburbs go well over $2,000 per year for the car insurance cost. As we know, Ontario and parts of Ontario are notoriously high when it comes to auto insurance. So you'll definitely better off yourself and save some money in terms of the insurance if you were to move from one of those bigger towns. but that's the average cost. Of course, it will vary significantly based on your driving record, your length of your driving license, your experience, the vehicle you drive, all those variables that go in. So take this with a grain of salt. Car insurance is tricky. This is just an average cost to give you some idea. All right, so now let's look at the grocery and dining. So we'll look at the grocery first. So two things to keep in mind. I mean, your grocery bill will vary based on the size of your household, the number of family members you have, what you buy, and where you buy. When I say where you buy, you have an option to shop at like discount grocers such as Food Basics, No Frills, or Fresco, or you could buy at a high-end grocers, not really high-end, but like some of the non-discount grocers you can call like Sobeys, Metro, Loblaws, places like that, where you often find a lot of fresh produce and a lot of baked goods that are baked in store as well. So an average cost, and for a household of 4 such as mine, we are paying on an average $125 per person in the household for our grocery per month. Now that takes you on an average around $500 per month for our grocery bill. Now I understand, depending on what you buy, if you buy a lot of red meat and stuff like that, obviously it's going to rack up your grocery bill. Or if you buy at like one of the healthier groceries such as Healthy Planet or the Farm Boy, those places will have produce that is going to cost you a slight bit more than some of those discount grocers. But this is to give you some average to work with. If you want to get really granular to the, let's say, how much a bag of milk or a bunch of broccoli is going to cost me, I have actually included the link to the website called numbeo.com, and that's where you can really compare how much a bag of milk is going to cost me here in Kitchener versus how much it's going to be in Toronto, wherever you're living right now. So feel free to check it out, and if you can get really granular with it. Now let's look at the dining cost. We'll break it down into 3 parts. So we'll look at the takeout restaurant. An average cost at a takeout restaurant is going to be around $15 per person at the most, and majority of the takeout restaurants, I should say. Where if you look at the casual dining restaurants, you're going to be paying somewhere around $40 to $50 per person at the most with your drinks. Let's say you grab a pint of beer with an entree and a dessert. That's what it's going to come out to on an average per person. Well, if you look at, we do have some fine dine restaurants here in Kitchener as well. So if you had to go to for like full on and enjoy a fine dine experience, average cost for that is going to be somewhere into the $75 to $100 per person. Now, of course, there is a bit of a variance here with what you order and where you dine. So those are the things to keep in mind, but I give it to you: takeout, casual dine, and a fine dine restaurant. Those are the averages you're looking at here in Kitchener. And finally, let's look at the entertainment and recreation cost and things to do here out and about here in Kitchener. So we're going to talk about the things that actually cost you to enjoy yourself. So there are a few places you can check out and worth checking out here in Kitchener. One of them is Chicopee Resort. That's open all year round. It's kind of in the center of the Kitchener. During the winter months, they have skiing, snow tubing, which you can enjoy. And on the summer months, they have zip lining and a bunch of other activities which you could, spend a day and have a great time for yourself and your family. Now, average cost for that Chicopee Tube Park, obviously skiing is a different ball game. But if you were to look at on an average $50 to $60 per person, you could definitely have yourself a great time, grab a quick bite to eat and enjoy some of the activities such as zip lining. They have actually a package for zip lining around $35 per person. So I'm factoring that as in, and I think there's a canoeing option as well. So around $50 per person is what you're looking at. The other place you could check out is the Bingamans, which is a multi-activity recreation center. They have so many things to do. I mean, I've included the website below, so you can check out their website and see what are some of the things you can do over there. But there's something for everyone throughout the year at that place. So definitely worth checking out. Again, it will come down to on an average $50 to $60 per person. You could definitely have yourself a great time with your family, with your young ones as well. I've been there, and that's typically how much we end up spending, even if we have an open hand in terms of our spending. So on the other hand, obviously there are things such as enjoying a movie. Like a movie night will cost you around that $50 per person at the most, grabbing, so yourself a popcorn and a drink with the movie. It's not going to go more than $40 to $50. So that's what you're looking at. There's one more place that's worth checking out. It's called the museum. They have like art exhibits that's happening throughout the year, and there are a bunch of other activities for kids as well. It's fairly less expensive. It's around $15 entry pass for majority of the year. So you could definitely check that out. And besides that, Kitchener does have plenty of open, natural spaces and green areas that are worth checking out if you're into hiking, biking, fishing along the banks of Grand River. So those are the things that's not going to cost you as much, or probably very negligible in terms of cost, some of those natural areas to explore. So, but that's a bit about the entertainment and recreation. You're looking at, on an average, $50 to $60 per person. You could definitely have yourself a good time at some of the places that I've mentioned here. And I've actually included the link below so you can check out the things to do at those places. So I hope now you do have some general idea as to how much it actually costs for you to live here in Kitchener. And I hope you did get some value. If you did, well, be sure to subscribe below and tap on that bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, and surrounding areas. Once again, whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 9 days, be sure to reach out. All the information you'll find right in the description below. I'll be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, and surrounding towns. Until next time, well, I do hope to show you around town.